WP-Get Web Dev Tutorials for all user levels. Okay, so I think I've got a pretty cool idea for a tutorial for you here today. A question that's come up a few times before in forums is about using theme colors, being able to change the theme colors by clicking buttons or selecting themes, etc. So I've come up with a way of doing this using the Elementor Globals. And I've got two ways of triggering that, and what it does is it saves that setting to local storage, so if you refresh the page your selection remains. So what I've got here is a demo page where I've just set some default global colors for my primary, etc., and a few extra colors which I'll talk about through this tutorial. Now if I click on the dark theme button here, my heading colors change, the background colors change, the box colors around here change, and the text and headings in those boxes change. If I click light theme, changes again. I've got kind of a reddish color here just to show that it's different. But different colored backgrounds here and different colored text, and my buttons are a slightly different color as well. Probably could have done a better job with changing those colors. Now the next thing we're going to do is look at, if I scroll to this point here where I've got a heading that's actually being tracked in the viewport. When it's detected as being in the viewport, it'll animate and change the theme. Here we go. So it's changed it to the dark theme. I've got another one down further. When that comes into the viewport where I want to animate, it'll animate and change to the light theme. Okay, back again, and it changes to the dark theme. Now, if I press the Control and F5 key, my theme color remains. So same with up here, if I change that to light theme, Control and F5, the theme color remains. And I'm using local storage. So if we go into our application, local storage, I'm saving a property to local storage, which has got the string for the theme that I'm actually using. So let me just change that to dark. And you can see in our local storage that's changed to dark. So every time we revisit the site, visit a page on the site, it's got access to that. All right, so that's the thing that we're going to achieve, and I'm going to show you how now. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is where we're getting our colors from. So if I have a look at my editor here and go into my site settings and global colors. So our typical system colors, I've created some custom colors, which is white and black. Got one called theme body, which will be my background. Theme heading 1, theme heading 2 colors. Now it's not the heading 1, heading 2 elements. This is color 1, color 2. We can use those wherever we want. Theme background 1 and 2, that's for backgrounds or boxes, etc. And theme text 1 and 2. You can put whatever you want in here. Create your own, go for your life. Now, when you create these, the system colors get a name which is recognizable. All the custom colors get a 7-digit random string on them. So I'll show you what I mean by that. We have a look at the colors defined by Elementor. We've got our primary, secondary, text, accent, and then we've got all these here with the random strings on it. Those random strings are in the same order as we define them over here. So what we want to do is grab all of those and copy those so we can name those somewhere. So let's have a look why I've done that. I've got a jump out of the system settings here. I've got an HTML5 widget on the page which has got all my code in it at the moment. And for my styles, I've just pasted all of those colors that have been defined into in between my style tags and just commented that out. I've then gone back through and all the names that I gave those colors that have got the random strings on it, I just put those names here so we know what they are. All right, then we create a theme, which is theme dark in this case and theme light. So all I'm doing is grabbing these colors, putting them into there, and then overriding those colors. That's pretty much what I do to create a theme. So that's my dark theme, here's my light theme, Then I'm setting the background color, which I've got to do on here. A note here is that you notice I've got Elementor Kit 5 there. So you need to check on your installation under the body tag what your Elementor Kit number is. Elementor puts the color variables on that. So we have a look down here. We can see here that Elementor puts the color variables on the kit class. So this one's kit 5, so you need to check what yours is and then create your themes based on .Elementor kit 5 in this case, the theme name that you want to use. So I've just created my light and dark themes here. Now I'm setting the background color of the for that particular theme on the body tag. You could do this through your body settings in your on your page. It's just cleaner for me to do it here, so I can see exactly what's happening. So there's my two themes. All right, so now all that remains is that we need to be able to put this class of theme dark or theme light on the body tag. So let's have a look how that works up here. Here's my body tag. If you look at the end of those classes, I've got one here that says theme dark. If I click on light, that removes the theme dark, changes it to theme light. Change it back to theme dark, removes the light, puts the dark there. And then that will apply these globals here to change the theme. So that's the theory of how it works. Now, the JavaScript that makes that work is in here. First of all, I'm just going to look at the buttons. I'll come back to all the classes, all the functions I've created up here. So the first thing we're going to look at is getting all the clickable items. It doesn't have to be a button. It could be anything that you can click. All I've done is set a data theme set, or this could be changed to theme name or whatever you like to call it. So I'm looking for anything that's got an attribute data theme set, and then I'm going to iterate through each of those, and I'm going to push that theme name onto our theme names up here. The idea of that is that we can keep adding. We can add a theme dark, theme light, theme purple, theme green, and we just add those as attributes. It'll automatically populate that array, which we use later on to remove all of the theme names from the body class before we add the current one. All right, so we're looking for the click event on anything that's got this theme set, and we're going to prevent the default from happening. And then we're going to call a function to set the current page theme as the events current target dataset theme set. Okay, so if we look at one of these buttons, so we're just linking to hatch, so it's not doing anything. Now advanced, we've got a attribute which is data theme set with a pipe theme dark, and the other one is where are we? Data theme set theme light. That's all we have to do to these buttons to have it change that theme, and that will then include that in this query to select anything that's got data theme set, iterate through each of those, and then add a click event so that we're going to change the theme based on that. All right. So the set page theme. What the set page theme does, this is the function up here, is we want to remove from the body class list, remove all of the theme names. So any theme name that we've used that's been added, remove them all. This ESX construct here, the three dots, means destruct this array to properties. The class list remove expects a comma separated list of properties. The three dots basically separates that array into those properties. So removing all the theme names and then just add back the current name that we want, and that's what changes the property here on the body tag. All right. Now the next thing it does is we're calling a set local with the name. So I'm using local storage. So I'm just basically setting a local storage set item WPG just to give it some name prefixing, selected theme with the name. So if I look in my application, local storage, and have a look in there, we've got WPG, selected theme name, theme light. I change to theme dark, that changes to theme dark. So that's what this set local storage item is. And that's basically so that next time we load the page, we've got the theme name. All right. So we then have an initialization here. So we're going to get from local storage, so get the same variable from the local storage. If it exists, if it doesn't exist, then this will be null. So if it exists, then we're going to set the page theme with the stored name. That's basically on load of the page, refresh, go to another page, looks for the local storage, pulls the theme name out, and then sets the page theme by adding it to the body class. Okay, so that is pretty much how that part of it works. Straightforward so far, right? Now, we then have another section here, which is, I've got another video which talks about tracking elements in the viewport, and it can do two things. One, it can add animation CSS classes, and it can throw events that we can listen to with JavaScript. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to look at the next one, which is this make dark. The make dark is basically a heading. In the advanced, I've got these two classes here. So VPA track is telling it to track it in the view. VPA highlighter is giving it our highlighter class for the entrance animation. Again, look at the video on that. I'm not going to go through that here. There's quite a detailed video which goes through all of this. And then in the custom CSS, in the attributes, I should say. So I'm going to reorganize. No, I don't need to organize this. Yes, I do. So it makes more sense. Okay, so these attributes here are to do with the previous video for tracking that and animating it. So all I'm doing is adding this one extra data theme set, theme dark. Look familiar? Exactly the same as what we did with the buttons up here. So we just added a data attribute of data, theme set, theme dark for that one, and theme light for the other one. So I've just done exactly the same thing on this trackable element here, and on the next one, it's the same thing, but I'm setting it to theme light. Okay, so that's all there is to this. Now the JavaScript here will now listen for the event. Again, watch the previous video. It's going to listen for this event here. When it comes in, we're going to get our detail off the event, which has a target. The target is the element that fired the event. So in this case, it'll be this tracked one for theme dark. It's going to get the data set, theme set, and then set our page theme. Exactly the same as what our buttons do, just triggering it in a different way. So that's pretty much what it does. So the cool thing here is that we're using the same methodology whether we click a button, whether we track an event using a JavaScript event listener, and then calling the same method to set the theme. That's storing it in our local storage, so the next time we visit the page, if I just go Control F5 on this page, it's going to remember that last theme I used. If you want to clear it completely, you could create a clear function, or we can go into our local storage here, get that selected theme there, delete it, and then refresh the page. Now we have no theme. All right, so that's going back to the defaults we set in the Elementor site settings. Change to dark theme, press F5, and it remembers that we're on our dark theme. All right, so that's pretty much that. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you like this kind of thing. If you do, please subscribe. Please hit the like button so I know that this is the kind of content that you want. I'm trying to get a feel for where I should spend my time. So if this is the kind of thing you like, please do like it and subscribe so I know. Thank you.